Temperatures are rising. Vacancy is shrinking for homeless shelters.
A competing business prompts a big change for Summerfest.
Bacteria turns a downtown park into a no-swim zone. KOMU 8 News at 6 starts now.
From Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News at 6.
Governor Nixon will call a special legislative session devoted to improving the state's economy. Good evening. I'm Angie Bailey.
And I'm Jim Rick. Thanks for joining us. Legislators are looking to overhaul Missouri's business incentives. KOMU 8's Jake Schlegel is here to tell us what they hope to accomplish.
Jim, I talked with Nixon's spokesman Scott Holste today, and he says the governor intends to call a special session to focus on passing a bipartisan jobs package to help move the economy forward. Republican legislative leaders say they have reached an agreement on a plan to create new business incentives while scaling back tax credits. The plan would scale back the maximum amount of money that could be offered under existing tax credits, including ones for renovation of historic buildings and construction of low-income housing. The plan would also create incentives for science and technology companies, as well as computer-based data storage centers and big-time amateur sporting events. And the plan would authorize tax breaks to attract international cargo shippers to Lambert St. Louis International Airport. Governor Nixon will be in St. Louis and Kansas City tomorrow to begin laying out the next steps for convening the General Assembly.
Thanks, Jake. In a controversial move, Summerfest concert series is moving.
Some downtown Columbia businesses have protested closing part of 9th Street for Summerfest. Now the organizer is taking tomorrow night's show away from the Blue Note. KOMU 8's Matt Moreno is live at the Blue Note with more information. Matt, where is Summerfest going?
Yes, Blue Note owner Richard King moved tomorrow's Summerfest off 9th Street and over to Forest Rose Park. Now that's right next to Mojo's. Workers were setting up the location today at the park near Mojo's. The Blue Note's website says the move is because, quote, due in part to the petition filed a few weeks ago and the actions of the city council, end quote. The location comes just days after Red & Mo Pizzeria was given permission to sell alcohol in front of its business during the Summerfest. Now, KOMU was not able to contact the owner of either the Blue Note or Red & Mo's Pizzeria. The petition referred to on the Blue Note's website is the one signed by 21 downtown business owners requesting the city only approve shows on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and when MU is not in session. Now, tomorrow's show features the band Big Smith. The next scheduled Summerfest show is back on 9th Street, and that's on August 24th. Reporting live from Columbia, Matt Moreno, KOMU 8 News.
All right, Matt, thanks for that live report.
Weather-wise, we're right in the middle of a heat wave, and that's the upper 80s. So again, once we can get through tomorrow and Friday, I think we should have the worst of it behind us. We'll have more in a few minutes on KOMU 8 News at 6.
Okay, thanks, Dave. The heat wave makes it harder for homeless people to stay outdoors.
Right now, they can enjoy cool temperatures at the Salvation Army Harbor House. KOMU 8's Jing Liu shows us how the cooling center is helping those who need it the most.
Anthony Thorne successfully finds a shelter to 8 News, Columbia.
There are still beds available at the Salvation Army House for those in need.
And of course, the extreme heat isn't just dangerous for us. Animals are at risk. Today, workers at the Stevens Equestrian Center used a lot of different ways to keep the horses comfortable there. KOMU 8's Anchi Du tells us how the horses stay cool in this heat wave.
Children stay indoors instead of keeping cool. Anchi Du, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.
And the workers there say they walk the horses 4 times a day when it's hot, and the horses drink about 20 gallons a day. The animals go outside overnight when it is quite a bit cooler. Potential pet owners in Jefferson City can look forward to new animal addition to the city.
Right, the Jefferson City Animal Shelter broke ground today on its new home. KOMU 8's Bianca Aaron tells us how the capital city plans to handle and house stray animals.
10, 9, 8.
The Jefferson City Animal Shelter made its final countdown for
shelter, and they're pretty good about coming to get them.
Bianca Aaron, KOMU 8 News, Jefferson City.
With some of the new shelter's services, the city can expect to save $50,000 a year. And Jennings says most of the money for the shelter will come from the approved sales tax. And there was an accident at Columbia Regional Airport today. The pilot of a small engine escaped injury when the wheels of his plane failed to lock for landing. Scary stuff. The plane's wings scraped the runway before coming in to stop near the taxiway. The airport did not close the runway and within an hour had the plane moved.
If you're headed to Flat Branch Park tonight for Fun Fest, you'll find music, activities, and a warning sign. The Columbia Health Department put up the sign about high levels of bacteria. Not everyone is overly concerned. For the past week, this sign has greeted visitors to Flat Branch Park, warning them to stay out of the creek. Columbia Health Department discovered the creek had high bacteria levels after extensive testing. 3 times the creek tested positive for bacteria levels higher than the EPA. Columbia's Environmental Health Department tests the creek weekly. It will remove the sign when the bacteria levels drop.
Weather-wise, a difficult time to describe the heat. It's going to go on for yet another couple of days, but once we get out of that, things should be a little better. The forecast next on KOMU 8 News at 6.
And hundreds of families are still in need of fans to help them stay cool this summer. Stick around. We'll talk more about that coming up right after this.
Good evening. There's a look at our first alert weather cam. There's a look at of the work week. So anyway, be careful out there and remember those hot weather safety tips.
Yep, good advice. Thanks, Dave.
Well, speaking of which, KOMU 8's Michelle Bogowith is live at Lowe's to tell us about the KOMU fan club. Michelle.
Thanks, Jim. We are here with Logan Park with the Voluntary Action Center, and Logan and I have been talking and chatting here. What can people do at home if they're sitting in no air conditioning right now? What can they do to get their hands on one of these fans that you guys are giving out?
Well, low-income families and individuals in Boone County can feel free to come into our office or call us if they want to know what information they need to bring in beforehand, and we'd be happy to help you. We've already given out over 200 fans this summer, and we hope to do a lot more.
And you guys have doubled what you had last year coming in here to this Lowe's location, and you're hoping for more because how many families are still in need?
There are hundreds. Fans and other, cooling services around Columbia are definitely the biggest services going on this time of year. It's a very hot summer, and we're so happy that Lowe's has been working with us and KOMU to get so many donated.
All right, thanks, Logan. And you can drop your fan off at the Lowe's locations in Columbia, Jefferson City, or West Lakes Hardware in Fulton. Back with more after this.
Heat and sunshine were no match for water and enthusiasm in Jefferson City.
That's because Trinity Lutheran Church Camp hosted a car wash benefiting Joplin. KOMU 8's Mark Steidler explains how the event was successful in more ways than one.
Oh my God, look at her car.
It was a dirty job, but somebody had to do it. More than 60 kids in 5 hours of work. Mark Steidler, KOMU 8 News, Jefferson City.
And all of the money raised will go to the Joplin Disaster Relief Fund. For more information on how to donate to Joplin, you can visit KOMU.com and search Jefferson City Car Wash. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Another look at our forecast. I'm quite sure you're familiar with what it is and what it's going to be. 80 late tonight, 75 tomorrow morning. Should be a notch higher tomorrow afternoon with a high at 98.
And here's what we're following for KOMU 8 News at 10 tonight. Fulton residents meet to talk about dog ordinances.
And an item found in a Missouri man's carry-on bag lands him in a foreign jail. That's coming up on KOMU 8 News at 9 and 10. Just use some common sense out there, Dave.
Yeah, that's all it takes. Stay inside as often as you can and keep well hydrated.
Like Jim riding in a golf cart.
I was going to say, like, maybe don't go golfing.
Jim's coming around.
He said he might not tomorrow, though.
Got in a golf cart today.
See you at 9 and 10.